I'm Mark from Velobene Bicycle Products. I'm here today to show you how to align cleats in your shoes using CleatMaster, the simplest, most accurate way to set cleats to neutral angular alignment. Assabet River Bicycles has been kind enough today to let us use our facility. Assabet River Bicycles, located on South Street, Hudson, Mass. Bike parts you want in a shop you can't find. Behind me, you'll see a custom frame from Spin Arts. Owner Tom Stevens has been a fixture in the cyclocross community for many years. He builds road frames and cyclocross frames along with custom cyclocross design, all out of Bolton, Massachusetts. Neutral angular alignment. It's important. It is the single most important setting on your bicycle to prevent repetitive knee strain. For every hour that you pedal, your knee goes through 5,400 revolutions. If each one of those revolutions is just off the tiniest of bits, you'll hurt your knees. During the warm-up phase, you're going to spend 5 minutes pedaling in a circle. This 5 minutes gets the rider used to the ankles being in a relaxed form. The lower muscle structures of the leg now are stabilizing the ankle. The pedal is allowed free float. Over a period of about 5 minutes, that ankle will dial into a neutral formation. You want to take a look at the rider at this point from the front to make sure the knees are going in a clean up and down motion. But with the legs going in a clean up and down motion, what you will notice is that both of the ankles will dial into a neutral position. Looking for that neutral position, what you will do is still wait a couple of minutes for those knees to dial in, and once they've dialed in, we'll start making adjustments to the feet. In this case, we'll see that the brass pointers are pointing just a little bit off angle, so we will make that adjustment now. As the rider is spinning after that 5-minute warm-up period, we'll notice that that brass pointer is pointed a few degrees forward. We'll now make the adjustment. We're going to bring the rider slowly to a stop. When the rider comes to a stop, notice that that heel may readjust that position of the brass pointer. Make a mental note of where it was during their spin so you can now adjust it. This rider was 4 degrees forward. We're now going to make an adjustment 4 degrees to the rear on that foot. Notice as we grab the tool handle, we take a firm grasp of the shoe. With a firm grasp of the shoe, take the tool handle and move it so that we realign the cleat 4 degrees to the rear. What we'll notice here on the other side of the bicycle is that the rider is asymmetric. Whereas we had to move the other cleat 4 degrees to the rear, this one's only tracking 2 or 3 degrees. Let's bring the rider slowly to a stop and make that adjustment. Again, grasping the shoe, take a hold of the tool handle and move that cleat 3 degrees to the rear. There we go. Now let's let the rider bring that back up to speed again. And with the rider back up to speed, we're going to observe this for at least 1 minute. Letting that change dial in. Once we bring the rider to a stop, it takes them just a few moments to get used to spinning forward. Sometimes it's necessary to make multiple adjustments when putting the rider into position. After each adjustment, have them pedal for at least 30 seconds or so until the brass pointer is centered. The brass pointer may oscillate from time to time. When the brass pointer oscillates, this indicates that there's a hip rotation that is natural to the pedal stroke. Make sure the oscillation is centered on the center point of the tool. Once the rider's position has been established, gently lift the shoe out of the CleatMaster. Take it all the way back, instruct the rider, let your foot just hang in my hand. If the rider tries to hold their foot up, they're likely to develop a cramp at this point. Using a regular foldable Allen key, Tighten up both bolts so that the rider does not lose the position that you've already adjusted. Move the pedal back forward and set them back in the tool. Once the rider has pedaled with the cleats in a semi-tightened position and we have verified alignment, have them climb off the bicycle and remove their shoes immediately so the cleat position is not lost. This is one of the few places where a torque wrench is absolutely required in order to tighten the cleats down. In this particular case, this is a Shimano SPD cleat. It requires 51 inch-pounds of torque. Place the torque wrench into the cleat and using alternating motions, slowly tighten that cleat into the shoe. Once the cleat has settled all the way in, there will be a second adjustment because the plastic of the shoe body will settle around the cleat. An audible click is heard from the torque wrench when the cleat is settled in. Once you have tightened them up at least twice in this manner on this shoe, move to the other shoe, complete the torque settings on that shoe, and then redo them one more time. Once you've removed the tools from the pedals, you now have to reset the saddle back to the rider's original height. So, in most cases, this is going to be reducing the saddle height by 25 millimeters as specified in the manual. On our particular fit bike, this is a very tight saddle. We lower it down to the rider's original height, and then make sure that it's dialed in. Once it's dialed in, we retighten. Any new rider, once they have shoes, needs to be comfortable clipping in and out of their pedals. The last step of any cleat fitting process is to make sure the rider can comfortably clip in and clip out once we're done. Our alignment is complete. The torque values in the bottom of the shoes are complete. Our bicycle has been restored to their normal position. Now we're going to teach the rider how to clip in and clip out. For the rider to clip into the pedal, have them engage the front of the pedal with the cleat such that it hooks into the pedal. Whether this is a road pedal or an SPD pedal, the motion of hooking in is the same. Now have the rider gently push down with the heel. You'll hear that audible click when the heel clicks in. A good indication of proper pedal alignment is when the rider engages with the toe of the cleat and the heel simply snaps into place. If they have to fish for that heel position, your alignment setting procedure may not have been correct. At this point, have them clip in with the second pedal and pedal. You're going to be looking for the rider to have a smooth pedaling motion. You're going to be looking for an upright motion on the knees at this point, and you're going to ask the rider if they feel any due stress in the ankle, knee, or hip joint. I hope you enjoyed our fit session today. If you've got any questions about VeloBene bicycle products, please shoot me an email, info@velobene.com. Like us on Facebook. Go to our webpage. You can download our cleat fitting manual for free.